where I didn't feel like he was doing his half. And like I'm wired where if it's not fair, it just makes me super just I can't stand when things aren't fair. That's a bad mentality to be in. Like life's not fair, as they always say. But when he wasn't doing his half, I didn't want to work hard because I feel like I'm working to pay him, you know?
Right.
So it just kind of it became like a mental block for me. And me and this guy were partners. It just we didn't work well together. We were doing maybe 1 to 2 deals a month. We were making probably 5-10 grand a month. And within 6 months of us splitting up, we were both doing 40 grand a month individually. And
Nice.
and I know for me, it was just a mental thing. Because I felt like it just, we didn't have really good chemistry as business partners. So I didn't want to work. It just held me back from working. But, sounds like you got a lot of different people that are in this partnership that add a lot of different value. So just take from that as much as you can and roll with it, see how it works. I mean, because it is fun. That's another thing too. Like Randy said, he likes having a business partner. I enjoy having a partner. At some point, it's just you just got to decide for yourself whether it's worth it or not. But do some deals. If you have partners for 6 months, like that was my thing. It was in the first year of my business that I had a business partner, and I didn't really lose that much. I might have lost. I didn't lose anything. I don't feel like I lost anything. I could have done more, made more money on my own, but I learned from it. It was fun having a business partner. So, there's nothing wrong with what you got going on. Same with you, Randy. I just, Todd and I have been through it and we're 2 years down that road and we're in a different spot now. And like he just said, partner deal by deal. Todd and I will never be business partners ever, but we'll always partner on deals. And
Right.
it just makes it, there's no tension. If Todd and I are going to do the deal together, I'm going to be bringing value to him. He's going to be bringing value to me, or we're not doing the deal.
Yep.
So, but that's cool, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely. I'm going to put my phone number in the chat. I'm actually going to be in Scottsdale on the 7th of May. But feel free to hit me up if you have any questions. And I've got a ton of connections out there as well.
Are you going to that
Yeah.
Carlos Reyes event? I'll be
Yep.
there
Are
too.
you?
So we could probably link up. I'll see you there.
Sweet. Sweet, man. Did you already get your ticket?
I think so. My business partner is getting it. Me and him are two of us are gonna go. So he was taking care of that.
Hit him up because I got a text from All In. I'm sure it was Carlos himself, but they said that I can get like they have some extra tickets that are cheaper if you use this code, so you can get the tickets for $47. So if you want to hit him up and see if he already got them, I could text you the code or whatever to that.
Yeah, I'll let him know. I'll ask him.
But yeah, shoot me a text. We'll definitely have to link up. It sounds like it's gonna be a pretty big event.
Yeah, it seems big, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still want to go to that, but I don't know if I can get a plane ticket going out there right now. So
There's always the next one. There's so many meetups. It's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you get
This
to
one's
one
gonna
out
be
in
big though.
Arizona, somewhere warm.
Dude, why don't you come, Matt?
I might. Let's see if I can. I got a bachelor party like right around that time, so we'll see.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Nice.
there's Sean Terry always puts one on in October. That's pretty good. I love Sean Terry. Sean Terry's gonna be at this one too. But these events are really good starting out. And and I've always loved the events just from a networking standpoint, especially when you haven't done a deal or you've only done a couple deals, like you're with a bunch of other people in the same shoes as you. And then you guys are all like looking at people who've done more deals and you're learning from them and bouncing ideas off each other. So it's a fun place to be for sure. Let me see. What do you do do you work right now, Fernando?
No, I committed full time to this. Prior to this, I'd sold solar, which was very profitable. I've made enough money to kind of live off of that for right now until we get this off the ground. So I'm taking a little bit of risk. If I do need anything though, that's kind of why my business partners are there. But I have enough to last me for the next few months. So we should be all right. I'm just committing 100% to this and trying to catch up with all the knowledge that Michael's at, and then start doing deals. And the long-term goal is to eventually get the other two guys, because they're still selling solar. That's where all the money's coming from. To get them out of solar, and they're great salesmen, and just to get them actively working in real estate.
Yeah.
So all four of us will be actively contributing. Right now, it's a little weird because we're just starting out, but the end goal within the next year is to have us all out here doing deals in real estate.
Sweet. How long have you been full-time at wholesaling?
Just this month, April.
Okay, what are you doing right now for marketing?
Nothing yet. We're getting ready to do bandit sign. We're starting here in Phoenix, and then the goal by June is to branch out to do virtual wholesaling in Michigan and Texas and Nevada as well. But right now, just bandit signs. We're doing direct mail, and then cold call. That's about it. And to see what works, reevaluate every 90 days, and adjust as needed.
So it's just you doing the marketing right now then, like taking calls and everything?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. So what does your day-to-day look like?
It all depends. I have a lot of these REI meetings all over that are, because everything's online now due to COVID. I'm going to meetings out here in Arizona face-to-face. The marketing, we're not going to start actively marketing until next week. That's when the bandit signs are coming in, I think on Tuesday. And then, yeah, I just make phone calls whenever I have gaps of time, or schedule meetings with people, and just get our name out there and let people know what we're doing.
Gotcha. So you're just networking pretty much at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Do you understand like the concept of wholesaling pretty well, I'm sure by this point?
Yeah, I went through the 100 Millionaire Academy, the 100 Million Academy, and I took the Kent Clothier thing and finished that, and I'm still learning on there. I'm still have an active account, so I'm gaining as much knowledge as possible, and that's also why I attend these in the counties that I'm interested in, just to kind of learn about their laws, kind of how the market's going out there, and if things are a little different than here in Phoenix.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. I mean, it sounds like, especially after the meeting with All In and everything, like you have a well surpassed enough knowledge to do wholesaling. Like Todd just pretty much said it. Like you really just have to talk to sellers. That's the only thing that makes money in this business. Like it took me 6 months to get my first deal because all I did was network. And don't get me wrong, like that networking has served me really well now because I've used all those connections and I still do deals with those people. So networking is great. We swear by networking, but it wasn't till I started in September, and then in March, it was like the beginning of March. I was like, all right, I need to cold call because I'm not making any money. Like it's great networking, that's great, but I need to cold call and talk to sellers to get deals. That's how you make money. So within my first week of cold calling, after 6 months of trying to get a deal, I was full-time as well. I got my deal within a week of cold calling, just consistent cold calling. And then I got my second deal that same week, and I made $8,000 off both of them. So it just kind of goes to show you, like, you can't make money unless you're talking to people. So when people are starting out, like there's so much to learn in this business. Like I learned stuff when Todd was just talking to me about dealing with squatters and stuff. Like if you wait till you know everything and know everyone, you're never going to make money. So getting on the phone, like in your position, I would literally get a dialer tomorrow, pull a list and start cold calling, because there's no, there's no sense in waiting to like, you're going to now get experience talking to sellers. Even if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to learn what you're doing because you're going to be talking with sellers every day. Then you'll find a deal eventually if you stick at it. So that's what I would do if I were in your shoes, man, because that's where you're gonna make the money. And you're like, okay, you get bandit signs in next week, you're gonna put them out, and then crickets. Half of them are gonna be taken down. The other half, you'll get a couple calls off. That's just bandit signs. Like, how many did you order? Do you know?
Just 150 to start out.
Yeah. So like typically I'm getting a deal off every 500 I put out. and that's in
Okay.
Michigan. I have
Yeah.
2,000 bandit signs sitting in a garage right now that I haven't had a chance to put out. But 150, you're gonna get 75 of those are gonna be taken down right away by business owners, the city, whoever, and then 75, like, I mean, you have to put out hundreds and thousands to start, especially your first deal, because you have to learn how to take those incoming calls. So if you spend this next week learning how to talk to sellers that you're calling, it's a more uncomfortable conversation because you're reaching out to them, cold calling them. Then when somebody's calling you saying, "Hey, Fernando, can you buy my house? You have a sign here that says we buy houses." You'll be a lot more, you'll just be a lot more prepared to take their questions, because yes, you're a salesman, but you don't know what people want when they're selling their house. So if I say, "Hey, what title company are you going to work with?" You want to be like, I don't know, because you haven't done any deals. Whereas if you hear that 5 times the next week, then you'll be prepared when they start calling you off your signs. And you definitely don't want to be sitting on 150 signs out there just waiting for someone to call you. You know, you still cold call during that and then take calls as they come in.
Right.
So
Heck yeah,
that's what
I
I would do.
appreciate it, man. Yeah. No, I appreciate it 100%.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to linking up with Scottsdale, man. That's sweet.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be now. Are you staying
Where's
both
a good
Friday and
place?
Saturday?
Yep. And I got the ticket to the mixer as well.
Nice. Same.
Yeah. What was that, Victor?
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, you're good, man. You're good. Any other
I was gonna
last
say,
minute question?
yeah, I was
Go
just
ahead.
gonna say, where's a good place to, you know, if you're gonna like publicly market your deal, say, I mean, I know you got like the Facebook groups and stuff like that, but I'm just kind of trying to think outside the box, you know, like outside of Facebook, because I tend to find myself there a lot as far as like, you know, trying to find buyers and market deals. So I'm just trying to think of other places maybe I could like post my deals.
Have you done a deal? Have you closed a deal before, Victor?
Yeah, I've done I've closed 3 so far.
Gotcha. I mean, my two things are Facebook and then networking. So like I went to a bunch of meetups. My first deal, this is how I sold my first deal. Went to a meetup, created a flyer, printed out like 20 of them. I had the picture of the house on there. Like I went so overboard, but it sold. Like the first person I handed it to bought it. It was crazy. And I started handing them out to people. I had comps on there, I had price, all this stuff. That's one way to do it, but you know, I mean, it's just a gradual thing. Um, I'm trying to think of like the next best way to do it. You know, it's just very like I'm adding an email every single day to my thing, and that's why I have 300 now after a year of doing it. But you can, when you get a deal, that's when you can be really targeted with your buyers, because okay, I have a deal on the corner of 14 Mile and whatever. Like I'm gonna call realtors that have listings that are flipped houses. So what that's doing is like, okay, you know you have a deal right here. So you're gonna call realtors that have listings right around that deal. You already know they're comfortable with the area. They probably have connections out there. If it's a realtor who has a house that's flipped, that's active, and you're looking at this house, it's got granite countertops, everything's new, then that means they're representing an investor or they're an investor themselves that just put a flip on the market. So that investor is now looking for their next flip. And they're in this market, you know, it's hot. So they're going to have offers coming in right away. They see how quickly that sells, and then they're going to want yours like immediately. It's right down the road. They're already local. They have a deal right down the road that's active right now. They just listed their flip. So their crew needs another job. That's a great way to find buyers. Is your market more so like landlord buyers or flipper buyers, Victor?
I mean, it's a little bit mixed up because you've got both low end and high end areas. So of course, like I mean, your lower end areas are, you know, more rental section A, then higher end areas are more fix and flips. You know, so we kind of got both sides of the spectrum here.
What's the price point of the higher end ones?
Man, the higher end ones can go, you know, maybe as high as like 300,000 or something like that. You know, then on the lower end, you know, I mean, the ARV of a house could be like 45,000 or something like that, you know, so.
Yeah, I mean, I would say link up. Like, I love calling realtors that have listings near, or just realtors that are in the area, and then wholesalers too, because like this is the way I look at it. You can go out and meet a buyer, or you can cold call a realtor who has 10 buyers, or you can message a wholesaler. Like, I guarantee you're not reaching out to wholesalers because of what we just talked about. Wholesalers bad, wholesalers, they daisy chain your deal, blah, blah, blah. You're probably not reaching out to wholesalers when you get a deal, but reach out to those wholesalers when you get a deal, because they each have a buyer's list of 300 people on top of your buyer's list of 300 people, and say, hey, look, you know, if you want to upsell this deal, or maybe you have a ton of room in it, you got it for 10, you're asking 30. You can, you know, you post it for 30 and you tell them, hey, look, anything you sell for over 25, you keep. Then they might sell it for 35 and they're super happy, and you're still getting paid. Or tell them, you know, anything they sell for over asking price, they can keep. And that's gonna be huge. Like, all my deals, you know, I have a pretty big network right now, but I got them all through shaking hands in person and Facebook, like I said, Facebook groups. So I don't really know too much else, but cold calling realtors is another way I do it. It's really about it just depends what kind of buyers you're looking for, really. But you know, you can always pull a list too. And then I'm gonna call it a night because it's 9:30. But you can pull a list of cash transactions in your city in the past 90 days and skip trace all those owners and cold call buyers, right? Just like you would sellers. And batch skip tracing will skip trace LLCs too. So there might be a way to even pull a list of people who bought 2 houses in the past 90 days. Like, I get letters all the time from people that are like, hey, I'm a wholesaler. Do you want to be added to my buyers list? Because I buy houses, and the LLC I buy houses, and they somehow get my information and send me a letter. Like, I get letters all the time because I'm buying houses. So you know, you could send letters, but I would just say cold call. It's cheaper than sending letters. Does that kind of answer your question at all?
Yeah, no, those are all good suggestions. And yeah, I just always like to ask people just to, you know, get different ideas and stuff like that. So
Yeah, for sure, man. Like I said, YouTube could probably answer that better than I could, but I know what you're asking too. That's where, like, creating a big MailChimp comes in, having a really big list of investors. That's more powerful than Facebook, even, because you post it on your list and then you post it on the Facebook groups and everything. Other than that, it's hard to find like really big platforms to just post your deals on. You can, if you're going to get really brave, you could post it on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, but then you risk the seller seeing it. And if the seller sees their house on the marketplace, you can post it on Zillow. Don't recommend it. I got a deal once for 38,000, listed it on Zillow for 59.9. It was a wholesale. And the seller called me and was like, hey, why is my house listed for 60,000 on Zillow? And that was kind of an uncomfortable conversation. They ended up not really caring, but most wholesalers or most sellers would care. So yeah, that's kind of that, man. But like I said, you can find more information on YouTube and stuff. Chris, thanks for joining, man. Yeah, we do this every Wednesday at 8:00. So we will see you guys next Wednesday. And then Fernando, I'll see you in a couple weeks, man. We'll stay in touch.
Definitely, buddy. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. See you, Matt, Randy, Victor,
See you.
Caleb,
Later,
Todd.
Later,
What's up,
Todd.
man?
See you, boys.
All right, see
Good
you.
job,
All right.
Carson.
Thanks, guys.
Bro.
Thank you. See you.
Good meeting.